Hey YouTubers, what's up? It's me, yours truly. I'm back to post the long overdue video response here to Bigstar1000s first video thread. Kind of a cool new guy here in our vinyl community. He's posted a couple of videos, so I wanted to make sure I responded to his first thread. And question number one, I'm going to kind of walk around the room with a little cheat pad here. A sad record story. Saddest story that comes to mind for me is I was looking for some records, as always. If I remember correctly, I think I found an ad on Craigslist. Guy wants to sell 2,500 records for about $500, so I'm definitely going to go check it out. I drive all the way up there, and I started looking through the collection. Absolute incredible collection. I mean, just great classic rock stuff. I mean, a bunch of Dylan, Hendrix, on and on and on. Problem was, the guy who owned the collection had died, and his brother was just kind of storing some of his stuff away, and of course, basement, water damage, mold, and it just destroyed this incredible collection. I mean, if that stuff was in halfway decent shape, I would have paid $500 for it in a heartbeat. I mean, I ended up walking out with about maybe 7 or 8 that were in any kind of decent condition, and this was probably the best one, which was this Dylan Blonde on Blonde that was sealed, which I've shown this record a number of times, so I'm sure I've kind of told that story too. But, I mean, the guy was just absolutely heartbroken when I told him what he had and kind of what he didn't have at the same time, so it was not only sad to see the records in that condition, but then for him to actually get that look on his face when I told him what he had kind of ruined. But, anyway, question number 2, best LPs for $1. There were really only 2 that came to mind right this moment as I'm making the video, which is this one here, original master recording of the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper's, in really, really good shape. And the next one would be, where'd it go? Oh, right here. This Bob Dylan, The Freewheelin'. Got that for $1 too, which is a really nice find. So those are the best 2 that come to mind off the top of my head. Next question. 3 live gigs you wanted to attend. I guess you have to actually have the album in order to claim them, which is kind of bad because one of the things that I would want to put on that list would be the stupid Rock and Roll Hall of Shame. At least the one thing they got right was that 25th anniversary concert where they had, I mean, that was just an absolute great show. I mean, anytime you can get Bruce Springsteen, Patti Smith, U2, Metallica, Rolling Stones, Beck. I mean, you can get all those people on one stage. Simon and Garfunkel. I mean, that was an awesome show. But as far as stuff that I actually have, one, of course, would have to be Woodstock. Who wouldn't want to be there? I mean, the sure number of bands and names you would have seen at that show. That would be one. Second would be not my favorite album that I've mentioned before, but I would have loved to have been there to see Metallica's S&M with the San Francisco Symphony. Would love to have seen that concert. And the third one, which bumped out a couple of Neil Young choices, sorry about that, Dan, would be Jimi Hendrix live at Monterey. Would have loved to have seen that show. So I got to make sure that gets on the list. So that would be my 3. And let's see. Next question. Top gigs I've ever seen or I've seen so far. I would narrow it down to about 4 or 5 here. Number 1, best show I've ever seen was when Shinedown opened for Rob Zombie, which was opening for Godsmack. That, without question, was one of the best shows. It didn't hurt that I had 5th row center seats either. Second best show would be, refresh my memory here what I wrote down. Oh yeah, how can I forget that? When I saw The Sword open for The Down, who has Phil from Pantera, who was opening for Metallica. The first time I saw Metallica. That was pretty cool too. We were so close to the stage on that show that James actually bent down and handed my wife a guitar pick. So that was great seats, awesome show. That was cool too. Third on the list would be when I saw Lionel Richie opened for Tina Turner. That was a fabulous show. I mean, both of those two are still going strong and definitely still got it. I mean, Tina's like 105 years old and still doing her thing big time. And on the fourth, it's actually a tie for my fourth favorite. It will be a tie between when I saw In This Moment open for Rob Zombie. That was the first time I saw In This Moment. It was a great show. And it's a tie between them and, laugh if you will, but about 3 or 4 years ago when I saw Daryl Hall and John Oates. That was also a fantastic show. So that would be my top gigs. Last but not least, 10 songs you can't live without, that change your life, that you put on a mixtape, all that good stuff. I totally hate when we ask these favorite of all time type questions, but I don't think it's really like that, but it's just so difficult to try to narrow stuff down. But what I did was try to pick some stuff that I haven't, like all of this I haven't shown in other videos, so I left out, Rolling Stones, I left out Zeppelin stuff, and, on and on and on. So as of the last 5 minutes, these are the ones that I would choose. Bo Diddley, and actually the song Hey Bo Diddley, I would choose that. John Coltrane with Love Supreme, Acknowledgement. Off of that, Metallica, Master of Puppets. I mean, this is one I have to use every time, so I can tell you guys right now, anytime you say favorite something, just get used to seeing this album. Sam Cooke, A Change Is Gonna Come. Once again, in my opinion, one of the best recordings of all time. Neil Young and Crazy Horse, Rust Never Sleeps. The song My My Hey Hey. Love that song. A very chilling song to me. Really cool, too, that any of you guys watched the Sons of Anarchy, the season finale the other day. They played that at the end, which was awesome. Sex Pistols, Anarchy in the UK. Great representation of some good punk there. Roger and Zapp, More Bounce to the Ounce. The funkiest song ever laid down on a record, without question. And I think it more than shows when you look at the sheer number of R&B and hip-hop bands that have sampled from not only Roger and Zapp, but specifically that song. Eric B. and Rakim, that was a little bit of a tough choice because I was originally going to go with Paid in Full, but I decided to put Follow the Leader on the playlist. So that's some good old school hip-hop. Hang On Sleepy by the McCoys, probably my favorite. I don't want to say favorite. I think that song represents the garage rock sound to me more than any other song. Black Sabbath's Paranoid, goes without saying. Diana Ross and the Supremes, song I would choose off of here is Come See About Me. I think one of the best jukebox songs of all time. Lucinda Williams, Fruits of My Labor, great song. And last but not least, Night Fever by the Bee Gees off of Saturday Night Fever. That must be on any playlist. So I think overall it's a pretty diverse playlist. At least I tried to mix a few things in there, and that's what I would say as of this moment. Ask me 10 minutes from now, I'll probably say something totally different. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that, and as always, let me know what you think, and look forward to the next vid.